My appreciation to all who have given time to be with us today, especially to the young people and to those who helped them to be here. Days like this, moments like this, are very, very important in the lives of free people who would be ruled by the consent of the governed, not by kings, not by dictators, not by tyrants of any kind. They're important because they are the rare days on which we pause to honor greatness, the rare, true greatness which has very occasionally walked among us and helped us to be the people and the government that we are and to glimpse the greater people that we ought to be. There are those in this world today who, I think sadly, attempt to mask their own shortcomings, their own smallness, by denying the greatness of others. That's why I think it is so essential that now and then we stop and pause and remember our Lincolns, our Washingtons, in this state, our Hesburghs, and our Dr. Martin Luther Kings. Dr. Martin Luther King preached, as almost no one has, the lessons of tolerance and of universal love. But I believe it's worth remembering that he also worshiped a judging God. He knew that ultimately we should all expect to be judged by certain standards. He left us so many timeless words, but probably none are better remembered than his hope that one day all Americans would be judged not by the color of their skins, but by the content of their characters. He didn't flinch from using either the word character or the word judge. Dr. King himself was that rare example of excellence in character. And I hope another thing that happens on days like this is that as we review the words he left us, we remember not to lose them from our own vocabulary. What was in the character of Dr. King? We probably all remember different things, would give different emphases. For me, it started with courage, moral courage to say what was right, see what was right, and the physical courage to take risks, ultimately to pay a price for the right that he spoke. Very, very few of us could ever lay claim to a fraction of the courage that Dr. King displayed throughout his life. We remember that prophetically he said in his last great sermon, "I might not get there with you, but we will cross over to a promised land." He knew that it might well be that he was Moses, but would not have the chance to be Joshua. But he persevered just the same. On this day each year, I choose to remember that a part of his character, a wellspring of his rare greatness, was his faith. A faith that I know helped him to be so brave and was a source of his greatness. Dr. King once wrote, "I decided early to give my life to something eternal and absolute, not to the little gods that are here today and gone tomorrow, but to God who is the same yesterday and today and forever." In worshiping that God, in living the faith that he learned in his family, in his church, he left us all such a gift and such an example and such an advance of freedom. In a verse that That brave man, I'm certain, knew by heart. His Savior said, "For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and the sake of the good news will find true life." Animated by that faith, Martin Luther King, I choose to believe, gave his life for us, but didn't lose it. He won a great victory, one that we have a responsibility to not merely remember, but of course to extend and try to complete. There was true greatness in this man, rare greatness of courage and character and faith. And on the days, those few days, when we stop as we do right now to remember greatness, I think we do so primarily to strengthen our own sense of humility. And from that humility, derive the resolve to resume the upward climb, both as a people in search of true justice, final complete equality, and also as individual people, human beings, constantly climbing upward toward the qualities which so uniquely Dr. Martin Luther King personified while he walked among us. Thank you very much.